There is one thing I want you to be alert about. Not to frighten you, not so that you become paranoid, not so that you become suspicious. No, this is just a part of being alert. When you notice something, it has become mainstream. And I'm not talking about fads. I'm not talking about that, for example, an artist brought out a new song, maybe we're listening to it, or there's a new movie coming out. Everyone is talking about that movie. No. When a crime happens and people make a documentary about it, that happens all the time. But listen to me. There are documentaries which are straight BS. Just like there is what they call fake news, there are fake documentaries of fake crimes that did not happen. Now you may ask yourself, or you may ask me, Rashid, why do you think people are making fake documentaries? Why do you think they're faking crime? Now look, don't go out there and look to some documentary and say it's fake. No, don't do that. Just look at the bigger picture of the documentary. First of all, why did they make the documentary about that case? Why was that case relevant? And also look at the agenda behind that documentary. For example, um, if you have a documentary about a guy that killed a girl, they were in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, they were in the late teens, and the girlfriend broke out the relationship, and later the guy um, became depressed, he had mental illness, and he killed the girl, and now the guy's behind bars, and now there's all discussion about mental illness. But in the documentary you also see that because that murder happened, now some principal of some school has arranged a meeting, and now all the male students of that high school had to vow a pledge to always protect women and never to condone or overlook violence against women. So it's all about violence against women. Now, anyone that looks at that documentary, anyone without discernment, I mean, would think, well, they were just shocked that the girl was killed. That's why they wanted the boys to be alert about violence against women. Now, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Why are they exploiting the death, the murder of that young woman, to have a propaganda against violence perpetrated against women? Now, I know that there's violence against women that's plaguing the world. I know that. But come on now. Why are they exploiting the death of that girl? Why this discussion about mental illness involved in it? And again, men are portrayed as the perpetrator, and now the men have to vow. And I'm very disturbed by this, that they have to make a vow against violence against women. Those are just teenagers, man. Okay, that teenager was messed up in the head. He was probably demon possessed and things went wrong. Okay, deal with the incident and learn from it. Look, I'm not saying that documentary that I saw was fake, but just ask yourself, why are they putting some stuff in a documentary? And this is not just documentaries, also when you watch the news, why are they mentioning certain info? Look, we live in a world of deception. And in this world of deception, true tragedies that really happen are often exploited for an agenda. And often when it's exploited for an agenda, things are made up in order to promote the agenda. Now look, I'm not telling you to become a crazy and paranoid conspiracy theorist. No, just evaluate things. And that's what I said in many of the summaries I've uploaded there. Look at the bigger picture. Alright? Because there are times I've seen documentaries about someone that was sentenced to jail because of a crime, but when I look at the whole case, they didn't even have evidence against the one that was accused, but yet he ended up in jail. And people are rejoicing that justice has taken place. But I can see it's BS. And here's the thing. If a news message or a documentary that relates to any tragedy is either fabricated or is being mis let me say or is misrepresented, used for propaganda. Let's say something really bad happened, but now they have changed the story of what happened for propaganda. When you're dealing with such stuff, there will be always there will always be one detail that they mention that don't add up with the story. It can be that when the tragedy is reported, whether it's in a documentary or whether it's on the news, just look at the facts they're showing to you. Because if it is a deception, they will mention true facts, they will mention facts that are true, but they will mention them in such an order that will lead your attention towards something. And while your attention being leads towards a conclusion, you're missing all the other stuff they're saying. Because listen to this, most people they process things through their emotions. And those emotions are triggered based upon their conditioning. So most people, when they receive data, they can't process the data properly. Most people can't. That's why propaganda works so good on them. Often they're not even aware that they are influenced by propaganda. Look, if there is a news message or a documentary about some tragedy that happened, look, just look at it a few times, 2 or 3 times, and note the facts they're telling. Just write them down on a piece of paper. Then evaluate those facts. Look at them in the wider context. And when you notice that something doesn't add up with that story, then 99% of the time you're right. Something doesn't add up. Either the one that gave the facts did a lousy job and they are to blame, or it's a purposeful deception. And there are many deceptions out there. Many real incidents, many real tragedies are exploited for propaganda. So when you do receive the facts, you do receive facts about the tragedy, but with those facts you're also led into a wrong direction. With the facts that really happened, you also receive a deception with it. But often people are not aware of the deception they've received while they were receiving the facts. Just train in it to look from the wider perspective, look at the bigger picture. Don't make conclusions based on emotions or your own understanding, look at the bigger picture. That being said, be at peace, agree with Christ, shalom.